Guys, what is going on? As people start to chime in, it's like Wayne's World on a Friday. This is me. I'm not talking to anybody right now, but that's fine. Adam Rosenberg at Hey Rosenberg, wearing my cool dad-like Unders Club pullover, I guess. I don't know. I'm also watching the end of this Mystics game because I have Mystics plus 4.5 with 11 seconds left, and they're down by 2. So I'm in for the heartbreak. But we've got a few guests. We're going to be able to talk about the Belmont. We're going to talk about WNBA. I'm going to do some live labbing for some MLB. I'm going to bring on CJ, Slippin' Jimmy himself. I'm going to make sure that hold on. Going to make sure that my app is so. There's my guy, Zay. Hey, Zay. I don't have a good angle on this entire game, so if Caitlin Clark screws up my cover, I'm gonna be so annoyed. All right, 84-80. Guys, just don't foul. Don't do anything. Let's just do this. Okay. What do we want to do here? We're going to pop the screen. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It feels like an ad now. All right. Well, while I'm waiting for folks, I'm going to look at a little bit of MLB for tomorrow because that's what I do. There's a Phillies game tomorrow. Under. There is going to be a Phillies game tomorrow that is early. If I remember the dimensions correctly, it's basically pretty deep to center. I just remember Ian Happ just drilling a ball that still hasn't landed off of Adam Wainwright. Who are the Mets starting? Let's see. Tomorrow. I need tomorrow's starters. Who are they starting? They are starting. Oh, dude. Okay. All right. They're starting Jean Mania. This will be fun. So we will see how Sean Mania does on this. Yeah, man, this is gonna be fun. Okay, that's good to know. I'm gonna be playing around with that. The total the over 9.5 is plus EV. I don't know if I see that happening in a stadium that's a lot bigger. But what happened? Wait, we lost the under. I just want to know if we're gonna get this. If I'm gonna get this cover. London Town. To be fair, come on. Oh, did they get it? Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. He was good against Philly in that one start against them. We can take, but this is also, you're also a Mets fan, kind of getting upset about it. But all right. So looking at this board, dude, okay. So this Braves Nationals line is again too high. This is not the same Braves team, and it's Charlie Morton. That's why. Never mind. Charlie Morton and Mackenzie Gore, who I believe at home is not as good as he is on the road. And that is accurate. Well, his hard hit rate's down, but everything else is kind of up. Let me just see something. You guys are going to get to watch. You guys get to watch me play on my computer while I wait for Wolf of Oaklawn to show up. And we get to find a couple plays and things like that. So, look, big picture. If you're looking at big picture of who I'm looking at tomorrow, looks like we're going to be fading Taj Bradley. We're going to be fading Charlie Morton. We're going to be fading Lou. This is Javon's guy. Luis Medina is Javon's guy. He was consistently backing. Well, he was fading him really last year. Casey Mize, who I don't like. And is going against Freddie Peralta. So that's a really good Brewers matchup. Feltner is probably the worst. That's who's technically the ace of that staff, or was the opening day starter. And is terrible. Gausman look at this. Gausman's on this list. Gausman and Medina are on that list. So let me just see now. Let me see what the total is for that game. That is too low. I don't really care. CJ already got one that's in our sights. 7.5 for a Gausman Medina game. Let's see how they do it tonight. I know both of these teams don't really hit, but both of these pitchers can't really pitch. So that is something that I want to look at. And I will look at Medina. I will look at Medea. Yeah, Medea against Philly this year was great. He kind of I can't remember when that was. Come on. All right. Mystics cover. Hold on, I'm getting victory. I got a victory lap in my thing. Mystics plus 4.5 cash money. All right, guys, that's cool. So too high. It's 10.5 on Penny. Well, it's already. So here's the thing: is that it's going that way on Penny. Because it's 9.5 on everyone else's book. It's not at 10.5 yet. There's actually value on the over on it. I don't. The Phillies aren't hitting right now anyway. Like the Phillies are an under team, so like I don't care where they are. Like that's the thing. Like this game was in New York, I would still like the under. If this game was in Philly, I would still like the under. The Phillies are not hitting right now. I will point it out as I can on Fangraphs. I always type Fangraphs really fast in case it goes to like OnlyFans or something like that. But here, look, you guys get to watch me live lab this one. We'll do team batting. We'll do this. Got my fever at pick from yesterday. So everybody wins on that one. Because I was able to get a Mystics 4.5. Zay, you got your fever money line. And everybody wins. I love it. All right. So let me just see something. The last 3 weeks. Also, let me just see something for the Phillies. Yeah. I mean, the one thing is that the Phillies are much better against left-handed, but they weren't able to do it the other day. So let's see. We've got a 1, 2. We got a 3 here. Let's do a 3-week split team update versus left-handed pitching. OPS. Phillies have been good. We bump it down to here. Got my fever at that. All right, guys, this is gonna be a really good time because we're gonna do some WNBA stuff with Terrell and with Scott after we talk about the ponies. Oh wow, look at this! In the last 165 plate appearances, the Mets have a crazy OPS against that. So here's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. So the Phillies had one good week, and now they're kind of down on it. And if you really want to get into this, hang on. This is something I like to go into. Is I go to players, I go to show all, I go to team Philly. I do that. I do left-handed. I update it. I go like this. I look at the OPS. Like they haven't really played a lot of them, but check this out. Like they're just not hitting against anybody right now. So like I can go further back and it's fine. But like, hold on. I don't want Pittsburgh. I want Philly. Let's do it. Cool. Okay. So like you can see it, but it's kind of tanked down. And I just think that the under is the way that we're going to go on this. We got it. It's plus 110. So that's a big one, Mr. Jimmy. I'm writing it right now. Philly, New York Mets under, like the Oakland, Toronto over. Also, Suarez got hurt, guys. Do this earlier than normal. I'm not awake this late. Well, I appreciate you, and I'll do it earlier in 2 weeks. I'm in California next week. So, and if we take anybody tomorrow, I guess it's going to be what, Castellanos. We could look at it. We can check it out. I could really want to take this now, though. Plus 110, dude. I mean, I don't know. Plus 136 isn't like juicy in a game that's a marketing game. I don't know. I'd rather do plus money on this under 9.5 than plus 136 on the Mets. That's just me. Especially against the team of destiny. So let's see what else we got going on here. So I'm going to add this one to the cart. I'm going to add another one to the cart here. This is already, isn't this already on the move? That's today's. That's why. Oakland. Yeah, it's because it's 115 for tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow's is 115. And I really like this. Yeah, man. I don't really care that Oakland isn't doing that. I really want this one, Jimmy. That one's going to be the one. This is probably my favorite. By the way, Jimmy, CJ and I, Slip and Jimmy and I, who've changed his name to Slip and Jimmy on this, and it was Clark, and I had no idea what it was, but CJ, we've been crushing totals. We've just absolutely annihilating totals across the board. Just very good reads. All right, let me see if there's anybody else who's kind of stinky in here. Who is going up for Baltimore is Bradish, and that's. Do you want to do an Orioles team total over? Maybe. Let me see. I still think that this Braves total is probably too high. Oh, I got my guys in the back room. All right, guys, we're gonna get into it. My dude, I got no sound. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You're making me feel like that. Well, you just caught me just playing on my computer, looking at fun things. Did you just do VSiN?
I did. It was good. Yeah.
Well, I'm still like Sean texted me and said you're just stealing all of my people, like the night, like what he's like for your B-side version of my show. So look, for those that don't know, you are the Wolf of Oaklawn, my friend Chase. You have been on here for the other two jewels of the Triple Crown, and we are going to talk about some horsies that are tomorrow. They're actually in Saratoga. Shout out to our buddy Naj. But they're not going to actually beat the Belmont Stakes. I don't know if it does that matter. You tell me. Let's kick us off. First of all, does it matter that it's not actually at that track? And then tell us kind of what you're thinking about the race overall.
Sure. If you look at it from a traditional standpoint, the reason that it matters is that they're not running this race at 1.5 miles, the quote unquote true test of a champion. They're running this at 1.25 miles, which is the same distance as the Kentucky Derby, where for handicappers like me, like we're sweating over who has the pedigree to be able to handle the distance of 1.5 miles. Now we don't have to worry about it. We've seen these horses run this distance before, so we have a kind of a better idea as to who can handle, actually going the 10 furlongs.
So, and so with that said, I mean, obviously we're not getting a Triple Crown winner this year. Like, who do we like? First of all, like, same thing as you can run before. Tells you who you like. Tell us if you've never bet a horse before, what might be fun, and then let's build something fun with a box because I love that. So,
absolutely,
anyway.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's there's a horse that I'm enamored with, and it's the number 2 Resilience at 10-1. It won the Wood Memorial, a grade 2 here in New York at Aqueduct, and had just a terrible time in the Kentucky Derby because of how wide it was caught and how much extra ground it had to cover in the process of the race. At some point, this horse was actually in the lead, but then Mystic Dan cut the corner and was suddenly like 5 lengths ahead, and it just, I think, kind of took the starch out of Resilience a little bit. I think this horse is going to run back really big. I think he gets a really good pace setup because in a horse racing, when it comes to pace, you're looking for non-moderation, basically. Moderation is the bad thing. You're looking for way too much early speed, or you're looking for way too many closers to take advantage of. And in this case, it's way too much early speed, and I think Resilience is going to be able to come from off the pace and take advantage of it.
And what number was Resilience? You say 2?
The deuce.
2. Deuce. Guys, look, for those of you that we've got a lot of friends in my chat who went Mystics first half, Fever for the game, when all you had to do was just bet the Fever money line like Zay did. You guys got cute. That's what happens. But anyway, we're telling you how you get your coin back. You get your coin back by betting Resilience. What you like? So 2 to win.
Yeah, I like 2 to win. I'm confident enough in it that I'm probably going to skip doing like place and show, and I'm just going to go ahead and just try to slam a win bet and press my best opinion, because that's how you get paid in this game, is by pressing your best opinion.
That's lean into your edge. If you like it, bet it as much as you should. Don't half-ass it. If you love it, it may not come back. It's one of the best advices. They aren't running it at the traditional track because, well, the simplest version is that they're just doing repairs and maintenance and all sorts of stuff. But you can give the better inside answer on why that is, that they're not running it on the traditional track. It's from our comments. I'm not just making this up out of nowhere.
They've been doing renovations at Belmont Park for going on a little over a year now. The traditional Belmont meet has been run at Aqueduct. They decided to do it at Saratoga just because, I think, mostly for the venue, because Saratoga is kind of a special place in the hearts of horse players, and it's still located in New York. But the problem with moving it to Saratoga is that they couldn't accommodate the 1.5 mile distance, which some people take as a big deal. You give any distance, I'm gonna bet on horses going in circles. So I'm cool with it.
All right, so 2 to win. Are there any other races that are going on tomorrow during the day that you like, that you want that people should be paying attention to during that? Because that's one of the great things that is it's like, yeah, guys, that's a cool race that you're talking about for the Belmont, but what about earlier in the day? What about at 1 for the people that got there for dollar dogs?
I can do 4:08 Eastern. That's the best I can do for you, and it's a it's a 5.5 furlong race on the turf. It's called the Jaipur Stakes, and these sprint races usually end up going crazy and producing insane prices. I like a horse in here, the number 8. Its name is, or I'm sorry, the 12, Mischief Magic, at 8 to 1. Trained by Charles Appleby. He flies in one of the best jockeys in the world from across the pond to ride here. This horse is also a first-time gelding. Whenever you geld a horse, you're generally trying to get a more focused animal because, he's not out thinking about partying anymore. He's just thinking about racing after he's been gelded. I'm seeing that he's got really focused workouts.
Wait, for those of us who don't know, but can kind of figure it out, gelding, is that a fancy term for they were just like, they had their balls removed? Is that just,
yeah.
Is that, okay, that's what it sounded like. Yeah. I mean, I was getting there. I'm like, sounds like he's talking about he castrated him. All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The old ballectomy, the ultimate equipment change, as we like to call it. But yeah, so you like to see that they're a little bit more focused after that. I'm seeing that with Mischief Magic. I love the fact that they're pairing the horse up with William Buick in the irons, getting the mount. And you have to consider that this horse is owned by Godolphin, which is one of the richest racing syndicates, I guess you could say, in the world. It's like Saudi sheiks, that sort of money. And they typically make money by these breeding deals, breeding rights. Well, now they've taken the balls off of this thing. Like they can't recoup through breeding rights. Like they need to recoup through the winner's circle. So I think that's another kind of a clue that Mischief Magic might be ready to fire. So I like that horse. I'm going to bet him to win. And then I'm going to box him with the other Godolphin horse, which is the number 6 Star of Mystery. And then a horse named Arzak, the number 2 for Michael Trombetta, who also should stand to get a pretty good trip in this race. And I'm going to try to light it up with that 3-horse exacta box.
All right. So for the folks who just joined, the 3-horse exacta box, this is in which race number is this? This is
race 9.
Race 9. Race 9, and what are we doing with what's the box we're making? Oh, first of all, you like which one? You liked one of them to win, and then you wanted to do a box, or what was the deal?
Yeah, I liked the 12 Mischief Magic to win at 8 to 1, and then I'm going to box the 2, the 6, and the 12 together in an exacta, which is a $6 play.
We have just put that into the chat. You guys got it. You have something else to look at that is not just going to be the Belmont Stakes. That's I say it every time. There's no sexier thing to put together than an exacta box because it's just like, which way could this go? It's also just typing it out is great. I'm sad that I don't have this one's pretty straightforward. It's not like a 5, 2, 4, 9. It's a just 2, 6, 12. It's just bang it. Well, cool, man. Oh, so look, what then? So between after this, what happens to the Wolf of Oaklawn? Does he doesn't go into hiding because there's still races to be won, races to be run. What kind of so first of all, I want to get before we get into that, I want to actually get your absolute best bets for tomorrow. Sure. And then kind of this is supposed to dive in a little bit about like where people can find you so that they can continue to be active and listen to your charming voice, watch you with your fun AI images, and make Wu-Tang references. So tell us first, what are your best bets for tomorrow?
Sure. In the Belmont itself, it's going to be the win bet on resilience. And then I know you like the trifecta box. I'm going to put together a 4-horse trifecta box, and it's going to be it's going to be the 2 resilience.
Yep.
It's going to be the 7 protective.
Okay.
The 9 Sierra Leone.
Okay. Good old Sierra Leone.
Yep. And the 10 mind frame.
Boom. 2, 7, 9, 10 trifecta.
Yep.
Boom.
That should get it
It's
done.
in there. That's in there. All right. So where can everybody find you as they have now got their interest is now peaked in the horsies and they got all summer? Where do they find you? What do they do? What should they listen to?
You can always find me being abrasive on Twitter at of Oaklawn, OF, and then Oaklawn like the track. And then you can find my podcast wherever you get your podcasts. It's called The Notorious OTB. It's on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's a lot of fun. Try to put out about 3 episodes a week, and we're always out there. We're giving picks. We're giving picks with like $100 budget because that's the big thing that we always hear is like, okay, you've told us who you like. How do we bet it? Well, we're going to tell you how to bet it and how to bet it within the constraints of a small budget.
Nope, that's fun. I mean, look, I'm a guy who lived in the Bay Area for a while. I'm going to the Bay Area next week. I will probably make my way at least once to Golden Gate, one of my favorite dollar dog places to watch. There's always usually angry Russian folks that are watching some sort of horse over there that came over. I have fun at it. But yeah, I think that's like the hardest thing on getting into the horses is just like, well, how do I make a budget for this and do this? But guys who are just tuning in, Chase the Wolf of Oaklawn is here, and he's first of all, he's one of my favorite humans, but he's just also his podcast is fantastic, and it can kind of from Gulfstream to Golden Gate, he kind of gets you covered on everything that's going on. So, all right, man. Well, look, dude, I know that this is the end of the Triple Crown, but I'd love to be able to get you back on here for some things during the summer, just so we can kind of, continue to keep people being degenerates. Don't you think that's only fair, right?
We'll hit what they call the 4th jewel, the Travers at Saratoga this summer.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sean and my guy Naj can get us up there. We'll do it. He's the ED for New York for all the horses. He knows everything that's going on. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's the man. So yeah, man. Dude, we'll then fine. I'll have you back on here for that. We'll just do it. That's usually August, right?
Yep, that is.
Yep. Yeah, because I remember last year there was a whole thing because it flooded because of the rain. Because Fish did a concert that was raising money for it. So
I forgot that Fish was there. Yeah, Fish was there.
Yeah,
they got Blues Traveler for the Belmont, which is a big step down, I think, from Fish. To be fair,
it was wild. It was like all my worlds colliding. So they're like, I think Fish is here. Like, yeah. They're doing a fundraiser for you guys. Anyway, all right, cool. Chase, thank you for coming by, man. As always, good luck tomorrow, and I will talk to you soon and have you back on here.
All right, I appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, guys. We dropped them into the chat. We dropped what the horses are that you want to do. I see everyone is still talking about this fever bet. Look, man, everybody won. If you got the fever money line and you had the Mystics at the peak of what that line was, you won. It was great. We're gonna wait. We got Scott and Terrell are gonna come on and they're gonna talk some dub. While you do that, I'm going to look at more baseball. I am also holding a Aces -7.5. Can't fault the folks that are on Storm 8.5. I do like the Storm, but actually there's a world where we both win. Because if you cover an 8, if they win by 8, we both win. So it's a small margin, but a margin nonetheless. All right. So now back to this baseball. That Philadelphia is in London, in case anyone forgot. Yes, that is. There's a certain guy who. Am I playing all those? I'm playing all the horses. It's only three bets, or it's the 12 to win. I'll play that. The box of 2, 6, and 12, and then that trifecta on 2, 7, 9, 10. I'll do that. But that's the one on race 9. Yeah, there's only 2 races. Yeah, I'll probably play them. So this Phillies game is in that. I do not know the dimensions. I do know that center field's deep. Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. I know a lot of people who are at this game actually. And look, it's the Mets, but the Phillies are not hitting right now. That is my biggest takeaway on this one. Best price you see on number 2. I think he said, did he maybe say 8 to 1? I don't know. I can't totally remember. We'll have to rewind the tape and go back to it, but who knows? I just got my pictures for sent to me by my daughter of like our kids school photos, and they look amazing. So yay, we have good looking kids. All right, good, awesome. All right, so that being said, These 107 people, like the 100 of them are like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? All right, so still looking at stuff tomorrow. Just if you are tuning in on MLB, we are putting things in the cart. We'll probably discuss them after we get done our WNBA segment. But right now we look at totals, way we like to cap, at least myself and a few of others. So we look at the totals first, then we kind of look at pitching props, and then we go into batters props, because essentially what you've done is you have now figured out the whole pyramid of how everything's going to look. So we love that. Love that. Tomorrow, who is starting for the O's? It is Kyle Bradish, who's been lights effing out. It's 380. It is 385 to center. That's that is where Ian Happ hit that bomb. Still like the under tomorrow. We will see, but I'll probably, I don't know. I can't see Castellanos hitting to dead center. It'll probably be more like Harper, but we'll see. See what those prices. Actually, let's see what those prices are like now. Prices for, let's go to my default hitter stuff for tomorrow for this Phillies game. I'm gonna look over and apply. We will be talking about this later. We will. Let's see. I really love Mark Vientos right now. Basis on this. Let's just see something else. The prices are actually fine. Like I thought they were gonna like screw around with these or do something stupid. They're fine. Nick Castellanos should not be plus 370 to hit home run. I can tell you that. Kyle Schwarber being plus 310 is pretty telling. FanDuel hasn't posted any lines clearly because we don't have anything there. So we will be talking about it later. Oh man. All right. I got Terrell backstage. We're going to actually talk about some real things. Boom. What's up, Terrell?
What's going on?
Well, we got people in the chat who took the Fever money line yesterday. And then we got people like me who took the Mystics 4.5 about 10 minutes before tip. And everybody wins when that happens. But we're just talking about baseball, getting ready to talk about the W and waiting for Scott Reichel. You just won me a bet because you were the underdog it was between Scott and you who would not show up on time. Scott had you and Scott lost because Scott's not here. You're here. Everyone who does not know who this man is, it's Terrell Furman from SGPN. He does some Outlier stuff. He does some rhythm stuff. He does stuff all over the place. He's a good guy, and he has probably made each and every one of you a pretty solid chunk of money, especially on WNBA and NBA, because dude, he knows his shit. Dude, thanks for coming by, man.
Always. And screw you, Scott. That's why I'm here first.
I know, right? Okay, so we already got people in the chat. Say your lock record.
I really don't want to jinx it because my lock is still yet to play, but as of current, I am currently sitting at 14-1 on the lock record.
Boom.
14-1 in the WNBA.
We're on the we're both. I mean, we're on wings. Right?
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
I got the line at 2.5. I told everybody if you catch my show,
I got that.
WNBA,
I got that text at 1 a.m. from Scott, and just so.
Yeah, I got 2.5 is where we got in last night. I see it up to 4.5 now. I still like it at 4.5. I'm sitting on a Wings 11 plus at plus 250 ticket as well. So I think the Wings are going to dominate them. I mean, this is just two different classes in the WNBA. The Wings are closer to the top when they're fully healthy, and these Sparks are at the bottom right now. And so even with a couple of injuries to the starters of the Wings, I think they still got enough. They have enough size to combat with them. I think they're going to be fine.
Well, we can kick this off then. We got the stuff that we got tonight, but we got a couple games tomorrow. We got you here. Oh, here it comes. Here comes Scott. Here comes Scott meandering in late. Hold on. Scott, what's going on? You're actually late. Terrell was here before you. That's fine. Just saying that Terrell
showed up early. That's not my problem. We agreed on 10 o'clock.
That's fine. That is also fair. We're just all talking about how, it was nice that you texted me at midnight to tell me to put in the Wings immediately. And so we did it. All right. But what we got is we got 2 games tomorrow. I am going to,
Oh, shit.
let you guys, we're going to preview them and talk about them. And then you guys can give a couple bets that you like. We got lots of people here who are fans. Let's start Libs and Sun. This is a good one. This is a real good one. Terrell, kind of kick us off. What are you thinking on this overall?
Yeah, so right now I see the line at 1 minus Sun at home, and I think I'm actually going to take it for the Sun here. Lay the 1 with them. I think they'll go out here and get the dub, and it's really just because I question the Mystics defensively right now. I don't think they're that good of a defensive team. I think they have moments where they're able to step up. And we'll see if this is one of those spots where they realize, hey, we're playing an undefeated Connecticut Sun team. And this Liberty team actually gave them some problems last year. But I just think defensively, the Sun are just way more locked in than the Liberty are. And it's going to take an all-world offensive effort from the Liberty to be able to put up points on them. So I do like the Sun. I think that total of 158.5 actually intrigues me a little bit more because I've seen the Liberty be able to step up defensively, but I just don't want to bake it with not catching any points here on the road. So I think the under 158.5 is probably more intriguing to me, but I will take the Connecticut Sun to get it done.
It's funny because when you look at I've always kind of liked the Sun because they've always kind of been like the bridesmaid, never the bride. But like, you look at that head to head, there's like, it's a really good revenge angle just on like, hey, our New York sister has beaten us up over time.
Knocked you out the playoffs.
Right. Scott, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I like the under in this game. For the side, I think it's a coin flip. I think these odds are right. The Liberty have played a lot better recently, as I believe they've won 4 straight by double digits against some weak competition, but still, they have started to pick it up a bit more. Connecticut knows undefeated. They've been phenomenal all year, mostly for their defense. The issue that the Sun might run into that has been an issue against this Liberty team in years past is that their offense gets a little bit stagnant. And this year, the same things happen. Just defensively, they've been even better than we expected them to be. And we thought they would be a top 3 defense in the league going in. The problem is the Liberty have so many more options offensively, in my opinion, than the Sun do. So if the Sun can make the game ugly and turn into a rock fight, then I like their chances. If the Liberty are able to, push the pace a little bit and get some opportunities, then I do think that the Sun will have a hard time keeping up on the scoreboard. So I'm going to go with the under. I think that it's going to be more of just an overall war between 2 top-tier teams. I think for the side, I might actually lean Liberty in this one because I do like what I've seen offensively and defensively over the last week, once again, against weaker competition, but still you got to start somewhere. I think my favorite play is the under, though. The Sun against anybody just are able to smother teams, and offensively, they don't play fast either. So the Sun are kind of a dream under team. So I'm going to go with the under in the spot.
All right. Yeah, this should be pretty good. So for those of you that are not going to watch this like Phillies London game, Liberty and the Sun are going to be playing at 1:00 tomorrow. Props. Do we want to talk about props for that game? Do we have stuff up? We have stuff up that we're doing. Actually, here's a better idea. Guys, we're not going to talk about props for this because then everyone should be tuning into your guys' show after this so that you guys can be giving stuff out.
Actually, we probably should give it out because we're not having a show after this. This is the show.
Oh, this is all right. Fine. All right, never mind. Okay, so then here, we can do this all together. Anything that you like, you want me to pull up or whatever that you kind of want to look at for that Liberty Sun game, or that you've kind of taken out and looked at, as Scott likes to do. Scott just sorts by last 20, and then he's like, "This guy, no hits. This guy, no."
Last 20.
You do like
20,
some.
I was going to say the WNBA's only had like 10 games. So
no, I know.
10
Obviously, it goes into
around,
that. So
but...
I mean, look, you're a big fan of fading Sabrina. So I don't know. Is that still continuing tomorrow?
I mean, the issue with Sabrina is nothing against her. It's the fact that the coaching staff doesn't let her cook as much as they should. And Terrell and I have talked about that for a while. I think I have to be tempted by it because the Sun are a great defensive team. If you want to go for example, rebounds and assists for Ionescu, her number's at 11.5. She has gone under in 2 straight games, gone under in 8 of the last 10. And if you even want to use the last 20, she's gone under in 14 of the last 19. So I am kind of intrigued by that. She's also gone under in 6 of 7. She's had less than 11 rebounds and assists in 6 of those 7 games. And her number's 11.5. So I think I do like Sabrina under 11.5 rebounds and assists at minus 130.
Nice. Yeah. Look at that. That was easy one. Terrell's or anything that you're kind of eyeing for this one?
Definitely under on the assist for Sabrina in this game. I like that rebounds and assist play as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just play old reliable. And I mean the revenge game angle, another game back here in Connecticut. She has good games against this team. Jacquel Jones over 22.5 points and rebounds. She's gotten over this line in 8. What is that? Not 8. No, I'm sorry. 5 of 8. 5 of 8. There we go.
Yeah,
5 of
dude,
8 against this team
she's crushing it.
last year. And this year she's starting to pick it up a little bit more. And she hasn't gotten over there in the past 2 games, but one against the Sky, that's normally a tough matchup for her. And then the game against Atlanta, they really didn't need her. It kind of got out of control with Stewie. So I think this is a pretty good matchup for Jacquel Jones to get back on the stride. She's gone over this prop and a bunch of times. Was this 7 of 11 this year? I think it's a good one for her. So Jacquel Jones over 22.5 points and rebounds.
Yeah, I like it. And you look, and the head-to-head's pretty good on this one too. So it's that's good. Cool. All right, guys, let's now go to Dream in the Sky. We're all secret Sky fans, so we're not so secret Sky fans. But what are we thinking for tomorrow?
I still think the Sky are a solid team, or at least they're still undervalued. The Dream offensively have actually been terrible this season, which is kind of a shock. They're only averaging 75.1 points per game, which is the second most in the league. I do question how the Dream offensively have been playing. They were against good competition, but they beat the Aces and immediately kind of no-showed back-to-back games offensively. So I think I am leaning to Chicago in this one. You could argue that there is a tier gap based on expectation, but we know Atlanta in years past has been very good at home and pretty underwhelming on the road. It is a road game, so I think I'm going to lean to Chicago in this one. I just think that the Dream right now offensively have given me something to worry about, and not in a good way. I just think that they're looking a little bit out of sorts offensively. Chicago, whether you like the team or not, they have good chemistry, and that has definitely played a factor in the early season surprising record up to this point. I'm going to go Chicago in this one.
Terrell.
I'm on the other side. Give me the Dream. Dream been playing good competition. I'm not even, really upset at the totals because, I mean, you lose to the Lynx, all right, you lose to the Sun and you lose to the Liberty. I mean, I'm not really going to fault you too much for that. I think that this Sky team is fun, but I question, where they're at in the tier system of the W. Like, I think that they compete with teams and I think they're going to give it all 100% night in, night out. But the Dream, I just think I don't think they're just middle of the road. I think they're slightly better than middle of the road, but they're just not as good as the top teams in the league. And that they've shown us that over these past stretch of games where, hey, they can beat a team like the Aces, but they're going to drop the other 3 good teams in the league. So I think there's still definitely a tier gap between these 2 teams. I think this is going to be the matchup that they're looking for. Kind of get back on the stride. They've lost, 2 straight. So yeah, I'll take the Atlanta Dream here on the road. I actually like this matchup for them.
Yeah, the Sky's wins are the Mystics, the Fever, the Sparks. They beat the Liberty and the Wings starting off the season, but I mean those recent ones are not exactly the top tier of the competition. I think the teams are pretty equal as the line says. So, all right, props. Let's see. What do we think for this game?
Well, Elizabeth Williams is out she's on IR now. So if they dare give Cardoso props, I think you have to play Cardoso props in this one. Reese rebounds probably should be the play with especially still sitting there at 8.5 with Elizabeth Williams out of the lineup. Like it's gonna be some combination of Angel Reese, probably Cardoso in the starting lineup.
Take a double. Like just keep taking the double. It was 250 last time. Yeah.
I think it's still, and I think it's Cardoso. I don't know exactly what it's going to be tomorrow, but I think it's Cardoso and Isabel Harrison continues to come off the bench for him. But if Isabel Harrison is in the starting lineup, that's more offense. That's a lot more offense for this team, and that would make this interesting.
Scott, anybody you're eyeing?
For props, I think Angel Reese rebounds has kind of been the cash cow of the season so far. She's finally started scoring double digits as her double-double prop has cashed recently quite a bit. I think I'm still going to go with it. I think at the end of the day, even though Tina Charles does have size, she really didn't do much against the Liberty to threaten anything in that game. And I do think that Angel Reese's activity and overall just motor can give Tina Charles some problems. So I'll go back to Angel Reese rebounds. I don't mind double-double.
Yeah, it's actually, if you want to you want to be one of those nerds who cares about prices, it's 132 on FanDuel, but it's 115 on DraftKings. That's a solid price difference. So
it was like 4-1 when the season started, which sucks, but it's expected because
the double-double.
Yeah,
the double-double's been inching its way down to Sabonis triple-double territory. Like I took it the other day at plus 250 and it was like 190 by tip off. And now it's opening at 190.
Right.
So what's that?
And in that game, you ended up taking it. She got there. Right.
Yeah. It's just that like the price on it's been dropping like crazy. Yeah. So, all right. Is there any other props?
Ryan Howard.
You guys like? Oh,
Ryan Howard's at 14.5, and that's criminal. I mean, I don't care what kind of slump the Dream or what kind of slump you think she's in. 14.5 for Ryan Howard is criminal. She can get that in her sleep. You look at what the Sky team are doing against the guard position, and they let Sabrina go off. Yeah, they let Sabrina go off. They let Kelsey Mitchell have 18. They let Kia Nurse have 17. Jewel Lloyd had 19, and Skylar Diggins-Smith had 21. Like, this is Ryan Howard's moment to go out there and have a big game and just kind of will this team back into the win column. So, I'm all over Ryan Howard here. 14.5 is literally criminal. I think she's going to go over that.
She's averaging 23 in the last 3 meetings against the Sky. So, and if you really want to do what I usually call like the Terrell special, 20 points plus 310, you could do that and the Dream money line, and I'm sure it's probably like 5 or 6.
And then she loves to drive to the basket. And no Elizabeth Williams. I mean, Cardoso's still a pretty solid defender, but again, she just started playing basketball in the W very recently. I wouldn't be surprised if she, messed around, got herself into foul trouble, and now Ryan Howard's looking at a clear lane to the basket with Angel Reese and probably Isabel Harrison and Brianna Turner. I still think that's a dream matchup for her. So, play on words, but yeah, give me Ryan Howard. I think Ryan Howard's gonna have a good day.
Killer. Let's do it. All right, guys. That is, well, actually, wait, we have stuff up. Do we have stuff up for Sunday? We have just lines up for Sunday, but nothing, probably won't have anything else. I don't know. That's all that I had. I just wanted to have you guys on just to kind of jam around on my fun Friday night show of nonsense and talk some dub. So
is that a working title, or is that the official?
Title? Yeah.
I hope it's not solidified yet.
No, it's still being figured out. But guys, Terrell, tell everybody where they can find you.
At really real __, and then just make sure you follow us at NBA Gambling Podcast on YouTube, WNBA Gambling Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Scott, same question, different answers, I hope.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio, or you can just follow Adam, because Adam tags me and everything. So you know where to find me.
Oh, it's such a good bit. All right. Well, look, guys, thanks for coming by. I will talk to you, I'm sure, in like an hour. But this is good stuff. Thanks for coming in.
Always.
Yep, thanks for having me. Sorry about the Yamamoto loss, by the way. It's a tough way to lose a win.
Dude, I know, right? Like he pitched well. So
it's 0-0 in the 11th inning, so it's tough to pitch much better than that.
Yeah, well, he did his part.
He didn't get any support. We'll see what happens.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
sounds good.
See you, man.
Yep. Peace.
All right. So we got here. What I'm going to do is, just to help everybody out, I'll list off the things that were named for those of you that are just joining. In fact, I'm going to take out the totals that are in here, and I'm just going to drop the entire WNBA, all the plays that were liked here. Bang. Those are WNBA. And now I'm going to bring on CJ in a Yankees hat. Oh, wow.
Picks, and I'm about to tout the Mets a little bit on the next 20 minutes or so. So
I know.
it's a little contradictory, but
Well, now I'm like, I was texting before. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not like super into it. Now I'm like, what? Now I'm super hyped. All right. Let me see. Oh, wait, let me just see how we lost that. We lost that under in Chicago. The White Sox have been hitting lately.
Yeah. I mean, line movement went against us all day. That made me a little bit more nervous about that one, even though, I think the initial cap you and I were talking about last night with that one was that having, Crochet's been awesome and Criswell's been fine. Like
He's been fine. He's been totally fine.
Fine, and White Sox lineup not great, but yeah, getting Luis back is injected a little bit of life. It looks like into those guys.
Yeah, it's like a fun bad team. Let's see. I did well on it's looking like I did well on totals. And then my batter props were not great. Hit a couple SGPs. Oh wow, did the Rockies come back? Well, look, here's the deal. I have you on though for very good reason. And let me share. I'm gonna send this to myself so that I don't lose this, but because I want to make sure I save these your plays. Done. All right, so let's do what you and I do, which is we find fun. Well, first of all, we find good totals and we find good stuff. And tomorrow, things that you and I already like.
Well, I've got two we could probably start with.
All right, let's start out. Let's kick it off. Let's do it.
Okay. So maybe let's quick. I know for anybody that was not on a little bit earlier, you had mentioned we were kind of going back and forth in the chat about this Mets Philly game. So I just kind of finished up a write up on that one. And here's the quick thing I would just say on the Philly Mets game. So that line is absolutely because of where it's being played.
Yeah.
I think you and I would probably both agree if this was back in Philadelphia or even in City, that's probably 7.5, maybe 8.
With Suarez, with Ranger pitching, and yep, that'd be probably 7 and 8 tops. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's maybe 7.5, a little bit juiced, but it's in between that 7.5 to 8 range. So the kind of the calculation I was looking at when I saw the 9.5 at plus 110 on ESPN Bet, which I believe is still there. You're basically getting two runs. So you're getting 2 additional runs for the ballpark specifically. And then assuming, let's say, travel, maybe the pitchers are tired. I know there were some rumors that Suarez may not go for this, but yeah, exactly. I looked it up before too. You've got 2 additional runs that you're adding to that. In addition to that, you're going to get plus money on those 2 additional runs. So before you even kind of, I think, get into like that Manaea has actually been fine, like he's actually been quite good the last couple of starts, and that he was fine against the Phillies before, you're already getting basically 2 additional runs, and you're getting probably about 20 to 25 cents of value just because this game's in London, and just because I think there's the general impression of how great the Phillies lineup is, which you've mentioned it a couple times, only averaging 3.3 runs a game. The last 10 have been ice cold in terms of just their normal kind of scoring output. So I already fired on this one. I might be dumb for trying to play a total in a London game, even though there were 22 runs in 2 games last year. But
but most of those were in that first game.
Yep, and and
most of them were because of Ian Happ. They were because he had 2 home runs. Like that was.
So that's just kind of my, I guess, quick take. When we were starting to look at that earlier, I can't get to 9. I can't get to the fact that you need 2 additional runs and that much, that the price is going to be that cheap, and the pitchers are this good, and we still think we need to take the over because of the park. Like I'll take my chances, I guess, there with
I'm taking it too. Where did you take it? Because I'm seeing it plus 110 at ESPN. I'm actually seeing, like, do you look at the market on this? Like on that total, people can say whatever they want of like, there's, plus EV symbols on the top, but on the over. But if you go to look at this, FanDuel even money, DraftKings 104, ESPN plus 110, MGM plus 105, like getting 10 cents extra for plus money on it at ESPN. Like that, I'm taking it right now for tomorrow.
Yeah, and just for reference, I mean, for people that like to check, Penny, this price is for 9.5. If you were betting this at Pinnacle, it's plus 102, and that price opened at plus 122. So
hold on. The over is
under 9.5. So the under 9.5 opened plus 122 at Penny. It is down to plus 102 at Penny for the under 9.5. So ESPN is actually 8 cents better than Pinnacle right now for the same number. So again, lower limits. I could look dumb on this in 12 hours, but I just think there's too many signals here for me to not fire on this one.
Yeah, no, I just did too. I mean, look, when you and I talk and we do this stuff a lot, obviously you have a lot more where you're looking at some of the line moves and you're doing some of the stuff through a lot of these different sharp angles. And I do a lot of like, this team stinks. But I think that there's a nice happy medium there. I use Penny a lot also just to manually check what's going on. But knowing that I think we are, I feel very confident. This is immediately one of my favorite totals. Like they're playing in London, not on the moon. Like it's not, also, by the way, like, isn't London below sea level? Like, or isn't this like, I don't know. But the fact is that, I like the under on this one. What else kind of had jumped out to you already for tomorrow?
So the other one that I thought was really interesting before we go kind of down a little bit of the slate was I was really honing in on that Orioles Rays game, and specifically the Orioles at minus 1.5 on the run line there.
Yeah, so I like that a lot too. I think Brad is so good.
Yes. So now if you go into Outlier right now, it is showing Grayson Rodriguez. I don't think that is correct. I'm looking at RotoWire. I'm looking at FanGraphs. It should be Bradish tomorrow. Yeah. So just ignore that. If it was Rodriguez, I would still feel okay, but I feel better about this with Bradish. Yeah. So these guys, Bradish. They played a week ago. And the Orioles absolutely just torched Bradley. And Bradley's, don't get me wrong, he's been good this year for the most part. He's regressed a little bit of late, partly due to the game that he pitched against the Orioles, but gives up 9 in just 3 1/3. And I think two other things that stuck out to me here is that if you look at the Orioles as a team, excellent on the season against hitting right-handed pitching. They are 6th in WRC plus against right-handed pitching on the season. They have 4 different batters. If you kind of go onto the batter stats, you can see against righties this year, they've got 4 alone in that lineup that's got an OPS of over 800. And it's not like the Orioles, I think like there may be a general impression that, or people are kind of maybe sleeping a little bit right now on the Orioles. They've been playing just fine. They are 6-4 against or on the run line over their last 10. So it's not like you're getting a Baltimore team that is really struggling, that's not scoring runs. They just lit up Bradley last week. So I saw this was also an ESPN bet at plus 120, and I had to jump on this one right away, especially knowing that Bradish is likely going because I just don't see it. I don't see a path there where the Rays are scoring a lot to make this like sweaty in terms of even the Orioles not even able to win the game, much less I think a plus 120 on a minus 1.5 is you're getting a pretty good price there.
Hold on, all went under. Yeah, Rays also don't hit as well at home. One of the things that I obviously do, I do a lot of like 2 and 4 week splits on top of the overall, especially because of how injuries and things look. I watch a lot of Orioles because I'm just a fan. I do think that this team is winning. I think there's a huge gap between this team and the Rays team. I think there are a lot of guys on this Rays team who are not hitting, and a lot of guys on this Rays team who cannot hit good pitchers. Jose Siri, I'm looking right at you. You will generally strike out. So no, I like this play a lot. This is something else that I had immediately thought because I kind of like the over in this game, and that's generally correlated with a run line. So yeah, I'm gonna like that. You get all 9 at bats. I love a run line too on an away team because I know that I'm getting all the at bats. It's just sort of another thing with me. It's the same reason I love team totals with them too. Okay. Other stuff. I'm gonna look at the list for tomorrow. Oh yeah. So I really liked I immediately went to this Oakland Toronto game, the over 7.5, because I think this is just so much. I think this is not the same Kevin Gausman that should be having 7.5 totals. I think it should at least be at 8.5. I don't even know what the score is of the game right now. It could be 0-0 for all I know. But let me look at what it is. Let's see. The game. I mean, just Dodgers are up too, by the way. Rockies have tied. D-backs are down. It is. It's 0-0 in the top of the 4th. So look, it's a Jays team that has trouble scoring. It's a A's team that really stinks. But I just don't have any faith in Kevin Gausman. He doesn't look good at home. He doesn't look good on the road. You have an Oakland A's team that free swings. It's basically a bad news for a dude who just throws hard. We could go into how things look from guys against his pitches standpoint, but it's not really going to change much for me. The over is something I'm probably going to bet tonight.
Yeah, and I guess 1 point in support of this and 1 point to maybe consider. So in support, it opened at penny right now at -104 for the over at 8. So already we're seeing Pinnacle, at least again, I haven't got a chance to see if this is opened at Bookmaker or not, but you're seeing support at least that 7.5 may not be the correct number. But this should be a little bit higher on that aspect. So definitely, I think that is also kind of a nice signal to take into account there. My only thing I would just say is that Gausman, if you look at his home and away splits, has pitched much better on the road. Just in general on the road, giving up a much lower fly ball rate. He's able to get guys to ground out a little bit better.
Yeah, well, some of that's dimension. I mean, he still gives up hard contact wherever he is.
Absolutely. No, he's still giving up about a 38% or so hard hit rate. So that's my only kind of I would say, at least when I'm kind of looking at this one, it gives me maybe a little bit of pause. It's like he has been a different pitcher on the road than he has been at home. But I didn't also look at the kind of the away.
Yeah, he's been a lot better. He has been. I didn't realize how much better it's been. He's very good on the road, actually.
Yeah,
like he really evened that out a lot.
In general, the last 3 weeks too. I mean, 3.59 Sierra and 3.55 FIP is not bad. That's fine. So, that would just be my one concern. I think Gausman's pretty volatile, but I also that did make me hesitate a little bit.
Yeah, no, and now that I've dove into it, I'm a little bit cool on it, and I'm allowed to walk it back on that. I do, and also them not scoring any runs through 4 is giving me quite some pause as well against Hogue and Harris. So yeah, I'll give you that. But let's look at some of these guys that we already do have here. There's Nick Nastrini is terrible. That looks like a ripe one for us. And who's going for the Sox? Brain Bell. Brain Bell has been getting better. I still think he's hurt in some way, shape, or form. 8.5 seems about right. They've just been scoring runs like crazy.
What is can we quickly look just real see what is the Red Sox team total?
I'm gonna guess game? It is.
It's gotta be 5.5.
5.5.
4.5.
Yeah, it's 5 plus money, plus 114 for 5.5, minus 150 for 4.5. So minus 120 at 5.
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah. For me, I would say It's not
I mean,
quite good enough to get me there, even though Nastrini is so bad.
Nastrini is really bad. It's let's see what the let's see what the 7 is. It's like,
all right. We should have kept Scott on for this.
Oh man, dude, plus money for the run line going into the bullpen. It's minus 123 if you want him for the whole game on the run line. But if you want to basically factor out the bullpen, it's plus money.
What's the first 5? If it's just, let's say we're just covering the spread, or just a half run.
Minus 152.
Yeah, that's tempting.
I don't hate
tempting
this.
On the 7
I don't hate this.
Yeah.
Because it eliminates exactly what we would care about, and it takes care of absolutely encompassing what we want to fade.
Well, and Bayo also, like, to his credit, I know you said that he is. You think that he might still be hurt. I haven't got to watch him probably as much as you have to. You're in the area and local.
I don't have Nesson, so I've never been able to watch
all
him.
right. So this is just more kind of you just following
reading,
along, I guess, or reading. But I mean, if you look at his road splits, excellent. I mean, the big thing with him on the road is he just doesn't, or he does have a tendency to give up a lot of home runs on the road. But otherwise, like, pretty low fly ball rate. He doesn't walk guys. K rate is better. I mean, he's been fine the last month or so. Season 3.62 Sierra. So he is definitely a better pitcher on the road. And so you're also getting that benefit there, in that one, you've got, is Nastrini it's got to be one of the worst 5 pitchers in baseball, or starting pitchers right now.
Danny Lynch and him are definitely there.
Yeah, well, for his sake, I hope they don't leave him out for 90.
That was amazing. Pitches. 93 pitches. They literally, he gave him 7 in the first inning, and they literally said to him, "Well, you're going back out there." And he's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And they're like, Adam and CJ have an over to cash.
That's
you're going right back out there.
That's honestly like having your dog just like take a big dump in the middle of your living room and then telling the dog it's got to clean it up. He did
shut up. So. He did, in his defense, he shut him out the rest of the next 3
after 7 runs. Yeah.
No,
but I think I'm with you, man. I do like that angle. It avoids the bullpen. I know we just got done talking about how the White Sox lineup actually has been like a little bit feisty, but I would feel good at least about Bayo in this one, especially on the road split side. And again, I just have a hard time also seeing the Red Sox not getting at least 3 to 4 runs. Up until the 7th inning there.
It's also just like, so they're minus 205 on the money line on the road, minus 126 for the run line for the game. So there's confidence in them being able to cover this run line. There's confidence in them being able to win this game. And all we are doing is bypassing what effectively looks like it's extra runs off of the Chicago bullpen, which we know is not good. And all we need on our end is solid Bayo and Nastrini to be Nastrini, to be honest. And I think it's a good angle because we're getting it at plus 105. And I would imagine that tomorrow that's minus 105 as it gets closer. Sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I would just say for people that if you haven't played these lines before, I think are they only available at FanDuel? I have not seen these.
Yes, they are only available at no. They are available at DraftKings.
Oh, does DraftKings have it? Okay.
Yeah, DraftKings has it.
I know the last one we played, I believe when it was actually, I think it was a Red Sox game too. It was the Flaherty game. So that one was only FanDuel, but all right, good to know. So there at least is something to compare it to a little bit there. And I'm with you, man. I think that's a good angle and a good look.
I think that's it. That's what I'm gonna go. That's what I'm gonna look at. All right. So let's see. And there's other stuff that's like on just big surface catching eyes here. We are definitely in the summer era. There's 1 7.5 line tomorrow, and it's that Gaussian one, and I'm not into it anymore. Also, like, looking at this total just going up, I just think that we're going to get – there's a lot of games that it looks like there's a
Who's on the? Let me just double check and see who's on the mound for Atlanta tomorrow. Oh, it's Morton.
Charlie Morton. I thought about the same thing, but Charlie Morton is not good.
Well, see there again. I know we're more of our foray is in totals, but Mackenzie Gore on the other side, like Gore's like also like pretty good. At least he's been.
Are his splits are one way, and I can't remember.
Let me check okay. Well, actually, I'm looking here at his last month, and it's been he's definitely regressed a little bit. He went
Here's the other thing with the Nats is that they are, and I keep saying this, like they're in the middle of like a stretch where they will not have an off day until the 17th of June. Like this is the stretch right now where you're going to see wear and tear of like, this stinks, I'm tired kind of stuff. He's way better on the road than he is at home. 5 home runs given up at home, 1 on the road. It's like everything plummets on the road. So yeah, I can't take a Brave right now. They're just not hitting the ball. So I mean, I would normally be like, oh yeah, well, I want Albies, but I just can't. Still part of me wants this under. What's the Nats team total? -110 for 3.5 on the Nats. Let me see how it has been against. No. Better against righties, but still not great head to head. So head to head against right-handed Atlanta pitchers, they've done pretty well. It's like the average is just over it. The median is 3. It's not enough for me to want to do it. But just, you're getting the benefit of what we both will agree is a very undervalued Nats team against an always overvalued Braves team. So you're going to get and a high total, and the high total is not corresponding to a high team total on the Nats. It's the Braves team total is too high. Like the Braves team total -162 for over 3.5. Like for this Braves team that has literally not scored. There's like this is literally they got shut out. They've scored like multiple times against Washington. They scored 2 runs or less. Against Washington, they've scored 2, 2, 1, 5, and 1.
Honestly, they were lucky that they did not get shut. They did not get shut out
tonight.
I know you and I. Our favorite total on the board today was that Furman sale. I think it was 8. I believe we got it at 8. Playing that this morning, but Olsen got a single there in the top of the 8th. Otherwise, that was headed for just a 2-0 final. So,
yeah, I may. Let me look at the weather, and then I'll tell you if this is going to be because I might bang that under again. Yeah, dude. It's wind to the right. It's sharp wind to the right. So that doesn't really help anybody.
Let me check one thing on my end here. It's what's the price for the under there? So under 8.5 -115. That's the best one you're seeing too on Outlier.
I am seeing, yeah.
Yeah, Penny has this one right now at -114 for under 8.5. So you're paying essentially what you'd be paying if you were betting at Penny, which is going to have less vig, obviously.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna lock that one in. It's like, here we can look at against left-handed. It's like some splits against lefties. This Braves team mid against lefties right now from OPS over the last. Here, let's do it over the last 4 weeks. Yeah, there's like bottom 10 over the last 4 weeks against lefties. So I have some enough respect for Gore that I like this is the under. I'm gonna take this under. All right, cool, man. That about does it for me for right now because I'm gonna start fading because I got to get up in 4 hours because of my children. Or probably more like 6 hours, but it is. But I'm going to. I appreciate you coming by to Live Lab, and we'll do this because I'm
anytime, man.
Lock
Appreciate
some things
you having
in.
me on.
Lock some things in, and then probably text with you for about 12 hours before my kids get up. So, CJ, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, guys, you can find me on Twitter at Dads That Bet. I'm also hopping around on Reddit at Quarter Kelly, so find me there if you want to check me out.
That's your Reddit name?
Write-ups. Quarter Kelly, baby.
That's
it was
awesome.
still available. Yeah, so that is. I have usually. If you check out our sportsbook, you'll see my write-ups are in there regularly. So probably like I got a couple that's already actually up for tomorrow. But yeah, check me out there. Twitter at Dads That Bet, and I'm also hopping around the Outlier Discord at Slip and Jimmy, as well as Adam's Discord, which I know you shared a link to earlier this week at Beat the Line, and also you'll see me there as Slip and Jimmy as well. So
yeah, he's a hero. He's a hero to everyone. It's great. All right, CJ, thanks for coming by. This was good. We got a lot of information to people. I got some things to lock in tonight. And I will talk to you. I'll talk to you in probably 20 minutes. So, all right, man. Thanks again.
All right. Peace out, buddy.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming. We had horses. We had we got some baseball. Appreciate y'all coming by. Good luck with your bets. I will talk to you soon. Oh, I got spring football playoffs this weekend. Follow Javon at Javon10. I think that's his Twitter. I think that's his Twitter handle. I don't know. You can find Javon. Like, he's very easy to find. Javon Alford, and he's one of my favorite human beings. He's got all your spring football needs. So I will talk to y'all soon.